Watch your lover, Avis, watch her night and day. If a woman has your heart, you cannot let her stray.
Avis, I did not expect to see you this evening. Do you bring news?
Aye, some very good news, at least if you confirm it for me. Methinks I am with child.
How very wondrous. And, have you any idea of who might...
Aye, verily, with child, but I dare not to. Forsooth, what if it be naught but false hope?
Then let us ask the stars without delay. Is Mistress Avis Allen verily with child? Madam, the stars confirm that you are indeed with child, and that the father is...
Oh, joy! Simon, is it not wondrous? You and I are to be blessed.
Hold. I am not finished. The stars also reveal the identity of the father.
There is no need to read the stars for that, for surely 'tis obvious that you...
Prithee, admit it. You have been coupling with my manservant, William.
Why, you... I warrant the stars say nothing of the sort.
See here, in my chart. 'Tis plain as day. In the house of children, alongside Venus, there is the planet Mars. Who else but William could that be?
But such scribblings of yours, they mean nothing to me. For all I know, you make up those stories about planets and houses and such. Why, verily, perchance you might draw up a new chart, Simon. One that tells of how the planet Avis is no longer in the House of Foreman.
You would mock me, madam? You would make a jest of my... Oh, I see. Leaving now, are you? Then you do so. You leave. I bid you good day.
Rich but not satisfied, mayhap you have not tried this one weird trick for displaying your wealth. Buy herbs and confections to boost your complexion and pass idle hours tending to your health.
Good even, sir. Who do I have the pleasure of welcoming to my chambers this day?
Nicholas Muggs, sir, proprietor of Muggs Rugs down on Silver Street.
Ah, the wig makers. You supply wigs to players, do you not? I have heard tell of your fine work from some of my playhouse querents.
I thank ye for your kindness, sir. I do hear you are very skilled at your trade also. For are you not the curer of the plague of 92? Forsooth, I do hope you may cure me as well. For though I do not think I have the plague, whatever I have is doubtless most grave, no matter what my wife thinks.
And what is it your wife thinks?
It be her mind that I have taken naught but a chilly cold in the head. But 'tis not so, Dr. Foreman, for I ache all over. My throat is grown sore, and I cough day and night.
Day and night, you say?
Aye, verily.
I see. Then let us consult the stars. What does ail Nicholas Mugg? I'm sorry to confirm that your condition is indeed most grave.
Oh, most grave, you say?
I am afeard so, for it seems you have been stricken with a bout of hypochondria. 'Tis a disease of the mind that provokes delusions of illness in the sufferer, whilst he is, in truth, in a state of perfect health. My chart indicates that in your case it is so severe it may one day prove fatal.
What is it that you call it? I must own, sir, that though I understand little of what you say, by your tone methinks you do trifle with me. And to think that folk say you be different from other doctors. Well, sir, I will not tarry, for I see I do waste my time here.
Robert Lord Devereux's a rising star, dashing and debonair, he will go far. Oh, London greets him with cries of huzzah! In truth, we cannot stay so sweet when we are.
Good day, my lord. How may I do you service? Would it pertain to some thrilling adventure upon which you may soon be embarking?
Indeed it does. Sir Walter Raleigh and I did recently come across some intelligence concerning a fleet of Spanish ships that will soon be sailing home from the New World, bearing a goodly cargo of gold. Raleigh and I plan to borrow the royal fleet, which we will use to intercept the ships and seize the treasure.
Huzzah! But, borrow the Royal Navy, you say?
Aye, only temporarily, of course. The Queen will hardly know her ships are gone. Indeed, when we return them to her bearing a handsome prize of Spanish gold, she will doubtless forgive our failure to file the correct paperwork and what not.
Doubtless. And how may I assist your lordship in this glorious endeavour?
Well, in order to intercept the Spanish fleet, we must know which route it is planning to take. One possibility is that it returns to Spain having retrieved the gold from the New World's southern continent. The other possibility, and this is the one Sir Walter thinks most likely, is that the gold has already been transported by conquistadors from the southern continent up to Havana, and the ships are to fetch it from there.
Then let us see whether the stars can tell us upon which route the treasure ships may be intercepted on their return to Spain from the New World. Will they be sailing from the southern continent or from the Spanish colony of Havana? The Spanish treasure ships will take a direct route back from the southern continent, from whence the gold was, found. For it seems the treasure was, discovered by the fleet's own soldiers.
Excellent, excellent. But where are we to intercept them? Pray, give me the precise day, latitude, and longitude.
Certainly, my lord. But divining nautical coordinates is a somewhat lengthy and complex process. If your lordship would kindly return in an hour or so...
Quickly, sir! I have not the time to bide here all day.
Well then, let me see now. Taking into account the position of Jupiter, divide by 3, carry the 1. Yes. The Spanish treasure ships may be intercepted upon the 15th day of October at a latitude of 9 and 40 degrees north and 5 and 20 degrees west, or thereabouts. That said, however, I cannot promise you that...
Excellent. Raleigh and I shall sail to this very spot. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my lord.
Oh, she never went to school, and she's kind and never cruel. Do not take Alice for a fool. Alice Clark, she is no fool.
Good evening to you, madam. How might I...
Hi. Pray go tell your master, Mr. Foreman, that Mistress Alice Blagg is come to see him.
Ah, Mistress Blagg. It is I, Dr. Simon Foreman, at your service. And what an honour it is to welcome the wife of the Dean of Rochester to my humble practice. To whom do I owe my thanks for having recommended you to my care?
Well, I will not lie. You owe your thanks to nobody. For folk do tell me that you are not a real doctor, but a quack, who does conjure demons and dabbles most unlawfully in the dark arts.
I do assure you, madam, that whatever you may have heard, I am
Nay, do not quibble, sir. If I did seek the counsel of a doctor who has one of those fancy medical degrees, or the kind of high-bred know-it-all who does see fit to judge a woman and vex her most cruelly, I would have gone elsewhere. But, truth be told, I have need of such a man as you, for I have been bewitched by a witch.
Ah, I see.
Yea, a loathsome spell has been cast upon me. It does cause me to awaken in the morning with a most terrible pain in my head, a pain so wretched it does have me chundering into my chamber pot.
Pain in the head and involuntary purging. And what leads you to believe your suffering is occasioned by witchcraft?
Well, the timing is most unnatural. My troubles do occur every Saturday morning without fail. I suspect the doings of our new neighbour, the widow Macdoon. As well as being Scottish, she does possess several cats.
Several cats, you say?
One or two of which I may have kicked, and now she has seen fit to take revenge upon me with her dark, foreign magic.
Indeed. Scotland is well known for the powerful black witchcraft practiced by its womenfolk. But as compelling as this evidence may be, my practice does draw upon the latest scientifical arts. To diagnose your condition, I must first perform a rigorous astronomical analysis. So, let us see now, what do the stars say is the cause of your Saturday morning suffering? Madam, may I delicately inquire as to whether it be the habit of you and your husband to take wine with supper? On Friday evenings, perchance? Drinking a little overmuch on occasion is nothing to be ashamed of. Many of my most respectable querents do find that a fine French claret can be deceptively...
Oh, nay, more's the pity. My husband is a tiresome teetotaler who prefers to spend his evenings writing sermons and counting coin. He hardly ever accompanies me to the tavern on Fridays.
Does he not? Well, in any case, I am much afraid that the ale you do consume upon these tavern visits may be to blame for your affliction. The consumption of strong drink can provoke an excess of black bile, which then does cause the body to purge itself the following day. I do advise you to consider...
Then I am not bewitched. But if that be true, then to poor Molly McDoon I have been most rude and unneighbourly. For shame. I must go to her this hour and apologise. Fare you well, Mr. Foreman. I must bid you good day.
Beware conspirations, plots and machinations, the schemes of big physic to sell you their wares. Their cures do us violence, but they call it science. They mock our beliefs and belittle our fears.
Well met, Mr. Mugg. You seemed displeased following our last consultation. In truth, I am surprised to see you again.
Doubtless you are. You were very wrong to tell me I had... What was it again? Hyperdiarrhea or some such?
Hypochondria, as I recall.
But, yea, I am come again, for it seems you have won the heart of my wife, and she will not hear of me seeing any other doctor henceforth.
Verily. Your wife's endorsement does me honour, sir. So, what brings you this day? For in sooth you look most well.
Well? Mayhap I look well now, but 'twill not be for long. I have been poisoned.
Poisoned? By the saints! Who is the author of this foul deed?
My friend George Sprottle, the bookbinder. I did dine with him not 2 hours ago.
I see. A bout of evil digestion. Pray tell, was there turned meat or some such at table?
Nay, not meat. 'Twas a pie full of cherries. I had a bite of it afore I knew what I was eating.
Cherries, you say?
Aye, cherries. And this after I took particular care to give Mistress Sprottle a list of foods I must not eat. I added cherries to the list when I did hear that the Countess of Devonshire has declared against their noxious qualities.
The Countess of Devonshire, you say? Noxious qualities, indeed. And now your symptoms, Mr. Mugg. Had you any reaction after eating these cherries?
My reaction? Well, I reacted as any man would. I spat them out. And know you what Mr. Sprottle did then, Dr. Foreman?
Nay, but pray tell.
He did laugh at me. He even called me a dinner-ralphing fusspot. Fie, I may soon be in the grave, thanks to George. Will he still be laughing then?
Well, let us not speculate, shall we, Mr. Mugg? Now, let us see what the stars may tell us. What ails Nicholas Mugg? Your condition has been provoked by the rancour you feel toward your host for having ignored your alimentary demands. These feelings have caused your spleen to produce ill humours, which you are presently venting in the form of bilious anger. Hence it will quickly pass.
I see. But what of the cherries I ate?
Cherries are perfectly safe to eat. Truly, Mr. Mugg, you must abandon these absurd and superstitious notions about the evils of particular fruits and vegetables.
Must I?
Aye. With the exception of onions, of course. For onions do render a man susceptible to the plague.
Onions, verily? I thank you for the warning, Dr. Foreman. I shall add onions to my list.
William! Ah, there you are. Did Mistress Allen call whilst I was out this day? Nay? You're quite sure about that, are you? Ah, I see. I cannot understand it. Why has Avis not come these past weeks? Does she no longer wish to see me? See, the stars confirm that Avis is with child, but that she knows not who the father is. How can that be? For Mr. Allen is not able to perform. Then my suspicions were correct. Avis verily has been intercoursing with another man. Well then, if Avis has other men, why, I have opportunities of my own, have I not?
Eyes are nothing like the sun. If snowy white her breasts are done, and that is a description done, for she is our lady. She's but a lady.
Good day, Mistress Lanier. Much time has passed since I last saw you. How do you fare?
In truth, not well, Dr. Foreman, not well at all.
Then I am full sorry for it, madam. Pray, tell me what manner of ill has befallen you?
First, I must beseech your pardon, sir, for methinks Mr. S. may verily be my prowler after all, as you did surmise.
Think nothing of it, madam. But what has made you change your mind about him?
I have been publicly humiliated. Mr. S. has been circulating a collection of insulting sonnets about an unnamed dark lady, and all of London thinks this dark lady is me.
Well, your complexion is rather, that is to
I
say...
am described as having foul breath and black wires for hair, though methinks the very worst line is the one that tells of a gross body rising at the utterance of my name. And I cannot abide illusions, Dr. Foreman. If Mr. S. wishes to reference bodily levitation and other such cheap stage magic, he would do well to leave my name out of it. My interest is in the dramatic arts, not fairground attractions.
I am not sure that is quite his meaning.
Dr. Foreman, you know of Mr. William Shakespeare, then? Do not tell me you have read the sonnets.
Well, I own that I have. But as you did remark, madam, all of London has read them.
Oh, well, I am undone. My professional reputation is now utterly spoiled, for now the whole world will look upon me as naught but Mr. Shakespeare's fancy wench. No longer will they judge me on my own merits.
Let us hope it is not as grave as that, madam. Have you discoursed upon the matter with him?
Nay, I dare not confront him about it. For we are almost at an end with our work on a play, and I dare not risk it not being staged.
Then let us see what the stars advise. What may Mistress Lanier do to restore her professional reputation? Your only course for saving your reputation is to ignore the affair entirely. Mr. Shakespeare has gone low, hence you must go high. I advise you to be as silent as the grave. For least said, soonest mended, as they say.
I'm finding myself rather lost among your metaphors, Dr. Foreman. It seems you would have me model my behaviour upon that of a mute tinker with an interest in hill climbing.
Well,
Worry not, Dr. Foreman. Methinks I know what you were trying to tell me. You would have me be silent on the matter, and mayhap 'twould be for the best, for what would I achieve by speaking my truth to the world? What if I were not to be believed? It would make it worse, for then I would be branded a liar, and men would make jest of it. Oh, do you see that, Dr. Foreman? 'Tis your mute Italian querent, Signor Ferraro. He is staring at us through the window.
Is he? Then doubtless he has come for another consultation.
Then I will take my leave now. Good day, Dr. Foreman.
Ferraro, Signor Ferraro.
Good day, senor, and well met.
Tis I, Riccardo Ferraro, come once again to see the great Dottore Simon Foreman.
Indeed, I did recognize you, senor. How may I assist you this day?
I am ill. I tell you my problems. First problem, I do make a chandar in the morning. Next problems, my belly does swell and my chest 'tis most tender to the touch. And now, for the very most terrible of problems, I have the big feels. One moment I do weep, and the next I do curse and gnash my teeth. So, Dottore, you tell what ails me, huh? You wanna make a water into this cup? Un momento, I make the water.
Nay, not in my... prithee, hold. If you please, senor. As with our previous consultations, I shall be judging your illness by reading the stars.
So, you need not of my...
Nay, senor, I have no need of it. Whilst 'tis true that most physicians do spy and sniff their patients' urine, I find this method of piss-pot diagnosis most imprecise. Indeed, the practice is quite primitive. 'Tis my belief that if medicine is to advance in this modern age, we must all adopt a more scientifical method. I am quite sure history will bear me out on this question.
This scientific method. 'Tis reading my diagnosis in the stars?
Precisely so. Speaking thereof, perchance we may consult the stars now. What illness troubles Signor Riccardo Ferraro? Senor, you have been stricken by a condition known as apoplexy. I will have my manservant bleed you from the arm, then apply beaver musk to your nose to induce sneezing, thereby drawing phlegm away from the brain.
But my problems, they are the swollen belly, the chundering, the tenderness, and the big mood. How can it be, this apoplexy?
Apoplexy is an affliction of the brain which can both trick the senses and induce, large moods. The stars suggest this condition was given you by a witch. A most capricious witch, I warrant, for the condition has tricked your mind into feeling all the symptoms of being with child. And verily, 'tis not possible for you to be with child, signor, unless, of course, that moustache of yours is naught but a cunning disguise. But I jest, signor. 'Twas not my intention to doubt your manliness.
You jest! A lady who would disguise herself as a man? So silly. I think you see too many plays by Mr. Shakespeare, huh? Riccardo Ferraro bids you good day.
Rosa, which must have fooled on your plate, are you verily sure that your dear is clay? At mystery of what causes your pain, but your friends and relations are very vain.
Good day, Mr. Mugg. Pray tell, did the matter with the, cherries resolve itself in the end?
Aye, indeed. I did tell my friend, Mr. Sprottle, what you said about how my shouting at him was owing to an upset of bile in my spleen. I also did speak to him on the evils of onions. I think he was most interested.
And what may I assist you with this day, Mr. Mugg?
I have the spotted fever. I must begin treatment now, or else I will...
Hold, sir. The spotted fever is exceeding rare. Why would you think you have such a disease?
Well, sir, not only am I covered all over in red spots, I have lately taken to chundering, such as are the very symptoms listed in the medical book I did read. I am already taking the treatment Mr. Cogan prescribes, but now I require...
You mean to say you have read Thomas Cogan's Haven of Health? Why, that is a most technical book, writ for doctors and medical students. How did you come to be reading it?
My friend George Sprottle did bind a printing of it in his shop. He kindly let me spy some pages afore 'twas sent up to Cambridge. Oh, but Dr. Foreman, I forget myself. You have no medical degree, so you doubtless have not read it. Mayhap if I ask George nicely...
Sir, let us consult the stars and see if they may tell us what ails you. You do indeed suffer from the spotted fever, Mr. Mugg. Now, as to your cure. Aye, it does require some uncommon ingredients that I do not keep here in my chambers at present. A moment, pray, while I write this down. Here, take this recipe to your apothecary and have him make you up a preparation. Take a spoonful each morning until your red spots disappear.
Oh, ground up horns of a deer, and cinnamon, how very fine, and this red coral from the South Seas.
Aye, verily. Nothing but the finest of cures for my loyal querents.
It is just as well for us that I did consult Mr. Cogan's book, is it not, Dr. Foreman? On my word, my wife was very wrong to doubt him. I shall tell her you said so. One thing more, if you please, Dr. Foreman, for I feel I must give you warning. A great storm is coming. I feel it in my bones, and my bones do always speak true. You would do well to bide indoors at the first sign of wind and rain. God keep you well, Dr. Foreman.
Almighty God, guide servant Thomas Black, reach forth thy gracious hand, and slap sense into him.
Good morrow, Dean Blagg. How fare you this day?
Well, Dr. Foreman, I must own that I do not fare well, for my recent investments have left me in a rather vexing financial position.
Verily, that is ill to hear.
Aye, Sir Walter Raleigh's quest for El Dorado failed most woefully, just as you predicted. His ships did return loaded with naught but a few sacks of worthless root vegetables. I cannot fathom it. We are Englishmen. We do not eat vegetables.
Aye, a disappointing outcome indeed.
Oh, but that is all by the by. For you will be pleased to know that I put my remaining fortune into a new venture so assured of success that I will make all my money back and more.
Assured, you say? How very reassuring.
I have invested in an expedition to intercept a fleet of Spanish ships carrying gold back from the New World. For this expedition, Sir Walter Raleigh will be joined by that famous military genius, Robert Devereux, the Earl of Essex. So success is virtually guaranteed. There is but one small worry, however.
Ah, only one?
Aye. 'Tis that Raleigh and Essex set sail full 2 months. Tidings of them. Such silence is a trifle vexing. Have they yet captured the Spanish treasure ships? Surely no ill has befallen them.
A most vexing mystery indeed. Let us see whether the stars can tell us what has become of this expedition. Wondrous tidings! Your family's fortune is soon to be restored, and you may thank God for it was he that inspired you to invest in such a well-led expedition. Raleigh and Essex have come upon the Spanish treasure fleet, and a violent battle off the coast of Spain is being waged this very hour.
Verily, blessed day! O Heavenly Father, I give thanks unto thee for both thy mercy and thy business savvy.
Why must this wench act so distressed? Mayhap she can't abide a jest. No welcome love when 'tis professed. What an ungrateful lady! What an ungrateful lady!
Good day, Mistress Lanier. Pray, come in and take comfort by the fire. The wind is fierce and cold this day.
Did you see him this time, Dr. Foreman? He did it again. He ran off the moment he saw me.
See who, madam?
Your patient. Signor Ferraro.
Ah, verily? Indeed, I was expecting him to come for a consultation this day, but he changed his mind and ran off, you say. How very mysterious.
Truly, 'tis as if all men are determined to use me ill.
Surely not all men, madam. I, for one, remain most devotedly at your service. My dear lady, I do not need to read the stars to see that something grave has befallen you. Pray, tell me what it is.
Yesterday I did meet with Mr. Shakespeare to discourse upon our new play, which is to open this week at the theatre in Shoreditch. But though I was determined not to confront him about the sonnets he wrote about me, 'twas difficult to hide the heaviness I did feel in his company.
I can well imagine, madam.
So then, well, he remarked upon my dark humour. To wit, he said to me, "Amelia, your pretty brow does furrow, so I will kiss it smooth."
And I sense that you did not receive this well?
Indeed, I did not. Forsooth, I was so enraged by this, I reversed my flagon of ale full over his head.
Ah.
Whereon he rose from his stool, declaring I was the most ungrateful and unworthy wench in all of Christendom, and then he flew out of the tavern like a bat from out the gates of hell.
A most vivid image, and no doubt most apt. Men who work in playhouses are prone to indulging in such melodrama, of course. Why so many ladies care for such men in preference of those employed in solid, stable professions, I shall never understand.
And if only that were all. For this morning I saw a bill advertising our play posted on a wall in my street. It bears his name and not mine.
Verily? Surely not. Mayhap there has been some error made.
Nay, Dr. Foreman, 'tis no error, for I rushed to the theatre to see what was amiss, but I was refused admittance. Indeed, the player who came to the door denied all knowledge of my collaboration on the play. Methinks Mr. Shakespeare is exacting his petty vengeance upon me for rejecting his sly suit by denying me credit for my work, and he means to deal with me by pretending I do not exist, as if I were a ghost. Or is it he who has become the ghost? In truth, I am not yet sure how that metaphor should work.
What monstrous perfidy! Pray tell me what I might do to punish this wretched scribbler. Though I am not adept with a sword, I do have a book that instructs in how to command nefarious spirits.
Oh, prithee, sir, I am come not in search of vengeance, but to seek answers. As you know, I have been ill-treated by my husband, and now I am betrayed by Mr. Shakespeare. Pray, read the stars and answer me this, Dr. Foreman. Will I ever be able to trust, even love, a man again?
To your question of whether there yet be a man in this world worthy of your trust and affections, forsooth, I have never seen an arrangement of stars that speaks so clearly.
Verily? Then pray tell, what answer does it give?
My dear lady, the answer you seek need not be divined by reading the stars. It may be read in the signs you see before you now. To wit, the answer you seek is right in front of you.
I am afeard I do not follow, Dr. Foreman. 'Tis your feather quill, a half-eaten apple, your desk is a little untidy, and I must confess the symbolism in Flemish still-life painting has always quite confounded me. Take a skull, for instance. What sense does a skull make alongside a bowl of... Below. 'Tis clear to me now, your face was always hid in shadow, but 'tis you, Mr. Foreman. You are the man who has been prowling me these last months.
Dearest, loveliest Amelia, allow me to profess to you my undying admiration for your charms, which are not insignificant.
God's womb, et tu, Dr. Foreman. Fie, you of all men to betray me thus. But 'tis true. I now see the answer. For I know now never again to trust a man to guide me. Henceforth, I shall write under my own name, and when there are decisions to be made, I shall take my own counsel and make my own judgments. By the by, methinks I do at last understand that prediction you made for me some years ago, Dr. Foreman. The one about how belief is required if I am to succeed. 'Tis a belief I must hold not in the inevitability of my own personal success, but of the successes of the women who will come after me. Farewell, Dr. Foreman, and clean your desk. Verily, 'tis quite disgusting.
Lancelot Moore is of a great house. Much does depend, much, on his choice of a spouse. He must be well, to consecrate wealth, no matter the cost to love and to health.
Good day to you, young sir, and well met. You are Lancelot Moore of Middlesex, are you not? What an honour it is to welcome a son of the great house of Moore to my humble consulting chambers.
'Tis indeed I, Lancelot Moore. I will own it. But hear this. My family is ignorant of my designs in coming here, and I wish them to remain so. Which is why I come to you, Mr. Foreman, for methinks you are not such a man who would ever find himself in the company of a family such as ours.
Ah, well, you may count upon my discretion, Mr. Moore. And what is the matter that brings you this day?
'Tis that my family wish me to marry my wretched cousin Barbara.
And I take it you would not wish to comply?
Nay, I verily would not. Cousin Barbara is a vile little minx. She loves nothing more than to sport with me and play cruel japes. Last Christmas, she even hid a dead mouse in my mince pie.
The lady does seem most spirited.
The lady? Oh, pish! Cousin Barbara is hardly a lady, for she is not 14 years of age. It is most unnatural to ask a grown man to wed a child.
Indeed it is. 'Tis my belief that in these enlightened times we should consider—
Verily, Barbara be damned. My heart belongs to a true woman, not a freckled, scrawny slip of a girl. A full-blossomed woman.
A woman, you say?
Aye, Marion, my other cousin.
I see.
Ah, Marion, so beguiling are her shapely charms. Oh, to lie, if not to die, in Marion's arms. So soft her lips, so sweet her face. Oh, how I yearn for her embrace. In me she hath such passion stirred, a fever rises in my— But nay, I pray for death, and would be martyred if from her I be thus parted. And so you see, you must help me forestall this wretched marriage, so that I might wed my sweet cousin Marion. Mr. Foreman? Mr. Foreman?
Yes, indeed. Let us see what the stars advise. How might Mr. Moore avoid this marriage to his cousin Barbara? sir. The stars suggest you avoid this marriage by joining one of the many military campaigns England is waging at present. Mayhap the one in Ireland? Though I hear the weather in Normandy is more agreeable.
Go away to war, you say?
Aye, but only until you reach your majority. Once you are 21 years of age, you will be free to marry whomsoever you please.
Ah, well, I do, of course, yearn to be a soldier. For as my mother will tell you, I am exceeding brave, but I cannot go to war at present, for I have lately broken my foot.
Broken your foot? Then 'tis a good thing you are come to a doctor. Pray allow me to...
Nay, I cannot tarry. I must return home before I am missed. I bid you good day, sir.
Hear ye! Spanish Armada nears English coast. Nation prepares for invasion whilst Queen searches for missing navy. Hear ye!
Wench, be sure to marry, lest ye be branded a witch. If Mary sees you keeping cats against you, she will snitch. Beware of Mistress Mary Payne, she is a nosy fa. La 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 la.
Blessed even, Dr. Foreman.
Mistress Payne, what brings you in such weather? 'Tis most dangerous to be about in it.
Oh, it takes more than a little wind and rain to forestall me from doing the Lord's work. Besides, foul weather is naught but God's righteous vengeance upon London for the sinful debauchery of its inhabitants.
Verily? Then I dread to think what northerners get up to of an evening.
Pray heed me carefully, Dr. Foreman, for 'tis on a most pressing matter that I am come. Doubtless you have heard the news. The Spanish Armada does sail once again towards England's shores. It seems this latest Armada was most unexpected.
Well, as 'tis oft said, no one expects the Spanish Armada.
'Tis very grave this time, for I have heard tell that our own warships are far away at sea, and with our coasts undefended, a Catholic horde may soon be sailing up the Thames to slay us all.
Aye, our situation is most grave indeed. But what would you have me tell you, Mistress Payne?
I wish to know whether the English fleet will arrive home in time to defend our shores, or might we ordinary folk be compelled to take up arms to defend ourselves? Dr. Foreman, are you ready to beat off the Catholics, come what may?
Am I ready to beat off the... prithee, madam, let us pray the need never arises. Perchance the stars will offer us some reassurance. Will the Royal Naval Fleet return home in time to defend England from the Spanish Armada? be no longer afeard, Mistress Payne. The Spaniards are soon to be thwarted. Although the Armada does near our shores, its progress is slow. For, according to the stars, the sailors are most idle in nature.
Ah, yes, 'tis a trait oft remarked in continentals.
And they will be punished for this sin of sloth, for their lives are soon to be taken by a most deadly event.
Glory be! And what nature of event might this be? How will England achieve this glorious victory? A fierce sea battle won by our mighty warships? A triumphant charge of our cavalry brigades?
Well, England will use her... let me see now. Yes, these southern continentals will be struck down by England's most terrifying weapon of all, our lamentable weather. Batten down your hatches and wrap up warm, Mistress Payne. A violent storm is coming.
Pray take care, for say, did you hear what the Countess says about peace? They corrupt your humors and cause cancer tumors, so doubtless they're causing your garden's disease.
Good morrow, Mr. Mugg. Back again so soon. And yet your red spots do seem to have faded.
Aye, of the spotted fever I am cured, for, as he remarked, those spots have near vanished and no new ones are appearing. But my wife does swear they were the work of fleas, and she beat the rugs and banished the dogs from the house to rid us of them. She'll be beating and banishing me next if she has her way.
Well, I am glad to hear you are faring better. What brings you this day?
I have a humoral imbalance and need treating for it.
A humoral imbalance, you say? Well, 'tis true that an imbalance of humours can affect a man's mood. For instance, an excess of black bile, which is a cold, dry humour, can provoke feelings of melancholy, whereas yellow bile is
hot and dry. I thank ye for the explanation, Dr. Foreman, but I did learn all about humours when I took supper with my friend Mistress Ollingworth. She has a humoral imbalance and takes medicine for it. Hence, I am come this day for medicine to treat my own imbalance.
I see. And what mental symptoms are you experiencing? Any unusual or troubling feelings?
Aye, very troubling. Why, I find myself a-fretting and a-pacing all the day long. Even my wife has remarked upon it.
Anxiety and agitation. Pray tell, did these feelings begin before or after you spoke with your friend Mistress Ollingworth?
Let me see now. After, methinks. Aye, after. Why? Does that matter?
Yes, quite possibly. But let us see what these stars do have to say. What humoral imbalance does ail my querent, Nicholas Mugg?
Have you a diagnosis yet? This day I am to dine with Mistress Ollingworth, and I wish to tell her all about it.
Aye, 'tis done. You have a choleric temperament, brought on by a minor imbalance of yellow bile. It does oft induce feelings of irritability and impatience in the sufferer, and in severe cases it can provoke outbursts of anger.
I see. How very interesting.
We must counter the excess of this hot, dry humour with wet and cooling elements. Take this powder of violets and salt and boil it in some water. Then you must drink the infusion once it is cooled.
I thank ye for this medicine, Dr. Foreman. But may I trouble you for twice the dose of it? For if the symptoms be what you say, I think my wife had best be taking it as well.
Hear ye! Spanish Armada sunk by English storm! Hear ye!
Here comes a son of noble birth. Know you how much his father is worth? For such a boy advantage is bought, entitled to much, deserving of naught.
Oh, sirrah, I have dire need of your counsel.
Pray calm yourself, sir, and tell me of this urgent affair.
Oh, verily, 'tis most urgent. A fair maiden has my heart, a maid with hair of shining gold and eyes so blue the finest sapphires grow pale with envy. But she is a most pious and demure in nature, and has many other suitors. How might I win her favour?
Golden hair? But in our last consultation... let me see here in my notes. Yes, you told me your heart belonged to a maid with hair of onyx black that doth make the finest ebony go grey with envy.
You mean my cousin Marion? Pish! That was naught but a childish fancy. I bid you, foreman, pray focus on the matter at hand, for if you do not help me win my true love's favour, my bursting heart will tear asunder, my soul will wither unto...
Aye, as you will. Let us see what guidance can be had from the stars. How may Lancelot More win the heart of this golden-haired maiden? Twould seem the fiercest rival for the maiden's favour is one of her father's business partners. He is a deceitful knave who tells the father lies. You must best him by telling even greater lies. Tell her father you are much wealthier than you verily are, and he will surely favour your advances.
A father's business partner, you say? But is he not? Oh, God's teeth! The man is her uncle. If he seeks to wed his niece, I do not think it right. Fie, 'twould be very wrong. I will go to her father and tell him it is better he favour me than bestow his daughter's hand on his own brother. I bid you good day, foreman, for it is most urgent that I deliver the poor girl from such an unnatural fate.
Alice Black, she likes a drink. She does care not what you think. Her head may end up down the sink, but Alice cares not what you think.
Good day, Mistress Black. What brings you?
Oh, Dr. Foreman, I have worked myself into such a state that I have urgent need of you.
Oh, you have you? Well then, let me just,
Yea, I have urgent need of your counsel. I am certain that my husband Blarg is hiding a shameful secret from me. As you doubtless did note from my flushedness of face and heaving of bosom, I burn with the fever of suspicion and curiosity.
Indeed, I did remark a fever upon your person, and wish fervently that I may bring it to a speedy resolution. Let us see. What is this secret that your husband Thomas Blarg hides from you? I fear the secret your husband hides is a sudden transformation from wealth to pauperdom. For he has been careless with your family's finances by making a series of bad business investments.
Lorks a mercy! That boiled-brained chump has ruined us! Upon my virtue, I can hardly bear to think on it. Nay, I cannot even. Say, is that medicinal wine I spy on the shelf behind you, good sir? Prithee, pour your patient a dose of it. Simon makes a fine figure when he reads the stars wisely. Mayhap I stay a while and take wine and a little else with him.
Alas, for little Anna, such sorrow she has borne, since she was made a maid, she has much to mourn. 'Tis vexing, 'tis trying. Alas, for Lady Anne, such sorrow she has borne.
Good day, Mistress Delamere.
Good day, Dr. Foreman. 'Tis Lady Dyer now. I remarried after poor Mr. Delamere passed.
Verily? Oh, I am full sorry to hear of your husband's demise, my lady.
'Twas his weak heart, as you did warn me. John collapsed and died at a mask ball, for someone, we know not whom, came to the ball dressed as a monstrous spider. Poor Mr. Delamere. He was always so afeard of spiders.
Oh, what a ghastly business. You must have been most distressed.
Yes, I was. So I hope you will understand why I worry for the health of my new husband, Lord Dyer. Mayhap 'tis naught at all, and yet...
And yet you would wish to know so that you may rest easier. Why, of course, my lady. Pray, describe Lord Dyer's troubles to me, no matter how trifling they may seem to you.
Well, I have noted that my husband awakens many times in the night to make water. Mayhap 'tis the reason why he tires so easily during the day. And he does oft complain of thirst and hunger, even after meals.
Frequent urination, tiredness, dog-like appetite, and thirst. Be there anything else?
There is also a small wound on his hand. It does not appear grave, yet it has not healed, even though it be some weeks since he cut himself.
A wound that will not heal. Then let us see what the stars have to say. Be there any grave illness troubling Mr. John Delamere?
Methinks you mean Lord Henry Dyer, Dr. Foreman.
I beseech your pardon, my lady. What illness troubles Lord Henry Dyer? It seemed Lord Dyer suffers from the diabetes. 'Tis a grave case of it, I am afeard.
God mend me. Then how am I to keep my husband from dying of it?
Well, the consumption of lettuce seeds and barley water can help, and you must not allow him to take honey or sweetmeats. In truth, I am a little concerned about the wound on his lordship's hand, though it be minor. 'Tis the diabetes that prevents it from healing.
Oh, then what should be done about it?
Take Lord Dyer to a barber surgeon, where he may have leeches applied to his wound. This will draw out the corrupt blood to hasten the healing. But prithee, be sure that your husband never cuts himself again, for the corruption of blood such cuts occasion in a sufferer of the diabetes, well, they oftentimes prove fatal.
Oh, then I shall do precisely as you advise, Dr. Foreman. I thank ye heartily, sir. Good day.
Here comes Avis Allen, she must love fallen still. Why else would she have come here? Mayhap she's gravely ill.
Good day, Mistress Allen. I hear a child was lately born to you. I trust he is well?
Yes, indeed. God has favoured us with a healthy boy. He is a true blessing to Mr. Allen and me. And we pray he remains so. That is, that this child remains in good health. And as I do ail of something, normally I would not have come, but methinks 'tis best I am treated, for the sake of Marmaduke, lest he take ill from me.
I see. Then pray describe your troubles to me, Mistress Allen.
Well, in truth, 'tis but a cough, but indeed at first I thought 'twas naught but a chilly cold, but 'tis many weeks now, and it lingers still. Forsooth, I am afeard it does grow worse.
Many weeks, you say? Aye, that is most concerning. Let us see what the stars have to say. What ails Mistress Avis Allen, and how may she be cured? Before I complete my judgment, madam, I must ask a question of medical relevance. Who is the true father of your...
God mend me, Simon! You would plague me with your suspicious fancies even now, in my very hour of need. Have you no thought for my son and my... I am full sick of your jealous delusions. Oh, verily, I should never have come. I will bid ye good day now, Simon.
But would you not wish to know what ails you?
I indeed, I would. Which is why I will be finding myself another doctor.
When the story seems bold, crucial facts left untold. When the story seems bold, crucial facts left untold.
When formen
protestis is pushed to the testis. Ferraro, Signor Ferraro.
Good day, Signor Ferraro. How may I do you service?
How may you do me service, huh? 'Tis the question, is it not? I do hear you offer many different services, huh? Not just in medicine, for you are a dottore of a special kind, one who gives answers to all the problems, see?
Forsooth, 'tis true, Signor. In my practice, I endeavour to treat the whole man, mind, body, soul, the location of his missing household items. All are connected at a holistic level. I take it this time you are come about a problem that does not pertain to a bodily complaint?
See, 'tis my mama. She does worry night and day. She say, Ricardo, you must go to the wise man who reads the stars and have him tell you what your future holds. I say, Mama, if it'll make you happy, I will go to Signor Foreman and ask him.
I see. And is there any particular reason for your mother to be thus concerned? Be you faced with some kind of imminent danger?
A particular reason, you say? Nay, signor, she needs no reason to worry. Mia madre is an Italian mama.
Ah, yes, of course.
You see now, huh? She is not like these London mamas who make the children live in a cupboard with the dog.
Well, then, mayhap the stars might offer your devoted mother some comfort. What does the future hold for Riccardo Ferraro and his mother? I am afeard these stars reveal information of a most disturbing nature.
Verily?
Aye. When you first came to me, you did tell me that you worked in trade. And yet my chart very plainly indicates that you are an authority figure, connected with a learned institution over which you hold a position of responsibility. Indeed, it would seem that you are not who you say you are. Do you deny it, Signor?
Oh, sirrah! You would accuse me of calling myself something I am not? Look at you, sirrah, a charlatan who would call himself a doctor. You are naught but a pretender.
Fie, sir! It is you who are the pretender, for 'tis clear you are not the merchant of Venice you pretend to be. Who are you? What is your true name, sir?
You will know it in time, sirrah, for we shall meet again. I bid you good day, Dr. Foreman.
Weep not for my thy tears, for you and Davy shared good years. Waste no more hours on earth and shame. 'Tis time to find someone to blame.
But why did you not let me save you, Avis? Why did you entrust your precious life to another doctor? An ignorant impostor who knows not how to read the stars to judge an illness. Oh, my beloved Avis. Why did you die before I had the chance to? See, perchance even I might not have had the power to save her. Avis was so fragile, and yet so strong was her will to be a mother. She sacrificed what remained of her vital spirits to bear and nurture her child. Oh, Avis, how I wish I had been there to comfort and care for you in your final hours.
When you are shook by something in a book where it says that you might have some rare malady, see Dr. Foreman, be sure to inform him you have it on very good authority.
Good day, Mr. Mugg. What brings you?
I am exceeding ill, Dr. Foreman. Verily I am. And you know my wife. She is refusing to hear anything about it. 'Tis but another of your delusions, Nicholas, she says. She will not even look at it.
Look at what? Oh, I see. You may pull up your breeches now. Pray let me examine you more closely. Raise your chin, if you please. Now, loosen your garter and remove your stocking. I am afeard this verily is grave. Most grave indeed.
'Tis? Verily?
I believe so, but we must have it confirmed by the stars. Let us consult them now. What explains these swellings that have arisen on various parts of Nicholas Mugg's body? You have scrofula, a disease commonly known as the King's Evil. It is very grave, but worry not, for I have a cure close at hand.
Ah, the King's Evil. 'Tis the ailment that may be cured by the placing of royal hands upon the neck. Oh, you do not mean to say that Her Majesty the Queen herself is at this very moment...
What? No, of course not. I was referring to my famous strong water. A moment, if you please, while I retrieve it from my cabinet. But, sir, unhand it, sir. The dosage is very precise. You must not... nay, not the whole bottle. Ye gods, man, what have you done?
Methinks I am dying.
Oh, woe! A fatal dose! Alas, I am sorry for it, sir, but you were never meant to drink so much of it. Oh, may God forgive me.
Nay, do not blame yourself, Doctor. Thank ye heartily, for at last all shall know, my wife, my friends, how wrong they were, and how I did speak true.
William! William! Oh, curse it, where is that feckless manservant of mine? William! Go forth and fetch the vicar!
Mr. Foreman, you have been called before this assembly of the College of Physicians to answer the charge of practicing medicine without a medical license. What have you to say in your defense? Would you deny practicing medicine, sir?
Why, no, I would not deny it. My practice is well known. Indeed, since I helped cure the plague of '92 with my strong water...
Then you admit you have committed this most grievous offence.
Ah. Well, 'tis true I'm not technically licensed, but I fail to see how...
You fail to see? Then permit me to enlighten you, sir. A medical license assures the residents of London that a physician has the necessary education and skill to treat them. By practicing without qualification, you have not only broken the law, you have endangered the lives of your patients. Indeed, we have received reports that a man by the name of Nicholas Mugg, a wig maker of Silver Street, has lately died under your care.
Aye, well, that was most lamentable, but not my fault, sir. Mr. Mugg took a far greater dose of my strong water than I advised him to. He chose the dosage himself. In truth, one might say that the cause of death in this instance was, well, Nicholas Mugg practicing without a medical license.
Silence, Mr. Foreman! Your impudent japery may well be suffered by your patients, but it will not be tolerated here.
I do apologize, Mr. Smith.
Besides the death of this patient, we have gathered ample evidence of your malpractice, Mr. Foreman. Indeed, we have had this illegal operation of yours under observation for quite some time.
'Twas you, Riccardo Ferraro, the merchant from Venice. All along he was you, Richard Smith, the Queen's royal physician. Then I take it, Mr. Smith, you were unsatisfied with the medical care I gave you?
Sir, we are well aware of your occult practices. What you so boldly call medical care was naught but advice conjured up by means of dark magic. You have no understanding of physic or astrology.
But my knowledge of both physic and astrology is unparalleled.
If that is so, then doubtless you will happily submit to having your knowledge examined before this assembly. Silence! Simon Foreman, it is apparent your answers were given to you by demon spirits that you have been communing with under the table. Constable, shackle this man and take him from hence to jail.
But, sir, this is most unjust. Pray afford me the chance to unhand me, you rogue.
Alice Black, she feels no shame, and forsooth is she to blame. If we were her, we'd do the same. Alice Black, she feels no shame.